The flesh is something that the Lord uses. It's a vessel that is used to bring forth His glory, His glorious spirit. So that is that when a man leaves his father or his mother, okay, and he is joined with his wife, they too become one flesh. They make up one body. And if they are not in agreement, guess what? Your prayers are hindered. Did you know that? That when you're not in agreement with your wife, your prayers are hindered. Or your husband is not, the husband is not in agreement with the wife is not in agreement with the husband, your prayers are hindered. The Lord is not hearing your prayers. All right, I'm going to show you that, right? Hold on for a second, right? Somebody read that for me. Matthew 5:23 and 24.
Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
Okay, so it says, therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar. Okay, back in the Old Testament, when you brought your gift to the altar, what was the gift that was brought to the altar in the Old Testament?
Animal sacrifice?
Right, it was an animal sacrifice. That animal sacrifice was like a gift, like your prayers going up into the Lord. All right? It was also incense burning. All of the different rituals of the temple was like your sacrifices and your prayers going up to the Lord. So he says, therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remembers that thy brother have aught against thee, meaning you and your brother not getting along together. Brother meaning sister too, okay? It says, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. So what is he saying here?
First make up with your brother, and then you can offer your sacrifice or your worship, your praise, your prayer.
Right, because in the New Testament, your prayers, all right, takes the place of you bringing that sacrificial lamb to the altar to offer it before God. Now you're bringing yourself before God. And when you bring yourself before God, you got to come clean. Okay, you can't have aught with your brother or your sister, and you're going to go before the Lord and ask the Lord something, and you ain't got things straight between you and your wife. So that's going to hinder your prayers. You understand?
Yeah. Right.
All right, so hold on. We'll go somewhere else. Now go to 1 Peter's. Back to the 3rd chapter again, where we're talking about the weaker vessel, in the 7th verse.
Right.
All right, 1 Peter 3 and 7. All right, it says, likewise, ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, that them is the wife, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Because if you're not in sync with your wife, your prayers is not being answered. That's why the Lord says you got to get your household in order before you can even think about serving God. You got to get you and your wife have to come together. You got to those things, those earthly things have to be straightened out. All right, get 1 John, the 3rd chapter, and somebody read the 15th verse, right? And read it all the way down.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
Go ahead.
Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. But whoso hath this world's goods, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him?
All right, how dwelleth the love of God in him? Then it goes on, and it says, I'm looking for the other one where it says, how can you love your brother whom you see? It's hidden from you right now.
Yeah, 1 John 4:20.
Say it again.
1 John 4:20.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. 1 John 4:20. All right. It says, if a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? So you got to get these things out before you can come to God. Remember that. Read it again. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, same thing we read about bringing our gift to the altar. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar, for he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.